Moonrunner 83 is a synthwave artist from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, whose sound is what we would define as nostalgic synthwave. Hello, welcome to the show.
Anastasia, thanks so much for having me on the show. I'm a huge fan of Static Realms and obviously the support that you give to some of the more independent music that comes from the beautiful subcultures around the world, and I think not a lot of these folks get the attention they deserved, and I'm just so happy to be here and so proud of the work that you folks are doing to give exposure to some of these artists that normally people wouldn't hear, but get to experience on your show. So thanks so much for having me.
So, you come from a place called Calgary. Tell me about it. What was it like growing up there, and how did it influence the sound of your music?
Calgary's a really interesting city. It was essentially, it really expanded during the prolific oil boom of the 1980s. And coincidentally, a lot of the throwback, vibe, atmosphere, the architecture, the buildings, even the attitude and the people that live in this city still seem to transcend, the eras past, going right back to the 80s. And there's still this prevalent entrepreneurial, high energy vibe in this city that really informs and inspires the music that now is Moonrunner 83. I'm tremendously proud of living in this city. It's really interesting. Really, Alberta's this massive province that's probably, multiple times as big as the United Kingdom, but there's only 4 million people living here, mostly in two massive cities of 1 million people or more, Calgary and Edmonton. And again, so we've got this vast wilderness nestled beside the illustrious Rocky Mountains, and we've got these, these two glistening cities that are really the gems of the New West. And it's such an honor to be, have grown up in this province and be a part of the amazing vibe that is, Calgary.
I noticed that your Instagram heading reads, "A love-struck synth kid making music about millions of people being lonely together." What a sad and yet beautiful statement. Can you elaborate on that for me?
Electrish, I appreciate the sentiment. It was I heard that statement somewhere before, and it really resonated with me. We live obviously in a very digital age where we're all so interconnected all the time through the proliferation of technology and social media, video content, music content, podcasts, just this forum of ideas that really is something that that humanity has never experienced before. But at the same time, it's just so evident that we're all looking to experience a togetherness and an intimacy that really this digital world in some aspects may or may not provide us. So it's such a cool dichotomy and such a contrast that while we're all so connected, I feel like we're all lonelier than we've probably ever been in humanity's history. So it was an idea that really resonated with me, and I think it informs a lot of the sounds and the beauty and the sadness that I try to capture in the Moonrunner 83 productions. So wild ideas.
Okay, let's talk about your incredible music video for the song Streets, which we will show after this interview. So the song Streets, with the incredible vocals of McDuffee and the incredible visuals, is just mind-blowing to watch. So how did you two meet, and how did you decide on going this direction with the song?
Streets. What can I say? It's just this song, the epicness of which we've been trying to chase ever since, and it's just been this unattainable goal. And it was just such a happy accident how the whole song kind of came into being. Obviously, anyone who's familiar with the synthwave scene would know McDuffee. Back in 2017, when I started this project, I went all over the internet looking for a female vocal artist, and of course, there's a number of amazing vocalists that I work with here in Alberta, but I was just reaching out. I must have posted 100 ads on Kijiji, Gumtree, Craigslist, all over the world, requesting submissions to take part in the second Moonrunner record. And it's my understanding that Megan had some sort of bots that would troll the internet looking for these types of posts, and we kind of connected from there. Coincidentally, I got an email from her, and it came from Gumtree in Ireland. So I clearly thought that this was going to be some Irish gal who had an interest in singing on the new Moonrunner record. And when she told me that she was actually at that time living in California and had come across this ad in Ireland, it was just so bizarre that we're both in North America using European message boards to try to connect. I heard her voice, and I knew that we had to do a song together. Behind me over here, you can see the Sequential Circuits Prophet Rev 2, which is an analog synth that has just this brass sound that's absolutely beautiful, with a really slow attack, but it's lush, and with some special panning effects, you can really get this cool side-to-side movement. And I just played the riff. I was just messing around with this brass synth patch, and I just played the riff, and the entire song grew from that. Once I'd finished the bed track, I sent it to Megan, and our collective idea was to write a song about the desolation that a loving relationship can cause. And again, we're just all about contrast, so we thought it was a really interesting idea. Once the song was finished, we actually applied for a grant. There's a telephone company here in Alberta called TELUS that provides music grants to local musicians. Their kind of thing is, give where you live. So we actually connected with these amazing film producers, Cottonwood Records, out of a smaller city called Lethbridge in southern Alberta. And their work was just so breathtaking, especially with the CGI talents that those folks have, and the team of people that worked down in Lethbridge. Music video just grew from there. We just wanted something cyberpunk. Clearly, there's some influences there from Thriller and having a music video intertwined with a distinct narrative, and of course my horrible acting. Megan's is probably a little bit better than mine, but the crew, the cast, everyone was amazing. It was a massive production, probably worth $100,000 Canadian, and we did it on a shoestring budget of $10,000 that was provided so generously by TELUS to support independent music in Alberta. So it was just a whole bunch of different, I don't want to say miracles, but a whole bunch of different coincidences that happily came together to produce something so special.
We love the incredible music video for Streets and the song itself. The storyline with AI and humans holding Kate against them in the future, it's all such a pleasure to watch. So can you tell me how the concept came to be? Please tell us more about how this movie-like concept was created.
The concept of the music video to really make it more of a movie kind of came from the fact that we had this budget, we had these grand ideas, and really to accentuate the vibe and the narrative from the song itself, we decided that it would be prudent to write these theatrical elements surrounding the song, and we think that it was really effective. It's such a cool video, and again, I'm just so honored to have been a part of it. It was an amazing week-long process. Filming spanned all of southern Alberta. We often went from 7 o'clock at night until 6 o'clock in the morning on account of some of the schedules of the locations that we shot at, including a destitute and destroyed strip club in southern Alberta that had everything ripped out, which is such a cool aesthetic to add to an already cyberpunk film, as well as a warehouse that we used in Lethbridge, and Clay and Joel's basement, which with their unbelievable set design, they turned into this futuristic room where, of course, we see Vito Carmalettolo's hologram and the television sets, and where Mr. 83 and Siren are briefed on their mission. I mean, that was a basement, and every inch of that basement was turned into this beautiful cyberpunk environment through some really creative set design. So hats off to these guys and their crew. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. I've not seen something like this ever done on an Alberta film set before. And the CGI, I mean, man, the CGI, so cool.
Speaking of the future, I want to know what the future holds for Moonrunner 83. Just so you know, we really want to hear new music from you.
Alexis, you're way too generous and way too kind to me. Moonrunner has a whole bunch of new stuff kind of in the works. I mean, clearly a big part of the Moonrunner project is this collaborative spirit that really makes Moonrunner the project it is. And obviously I run much of the production, much of the instrumental writing. I sing as well. But what I think really captures the imaginations of our audience is the fact that when you listen to a Moonrunner record, despite it having the same vibe kind of throughout, there's so many different ideas, so many different vocalists and writing styles. It really does feel like you're listening to almost like a mixtape or a various artists album, which is just so cool, and it makes the project so dynamic. In the future, we're looking at doing, I'm hoping to do a dark wave, maybe not dark wave, but a darker streets-ish cyberpunk vibe record solely with Megan McDuffie. This has kind of been a thing that we've been looking at doing for the last year or two, and schedules permitting, it's something that we will get to. I've got a new record coming out this year. We try to put out 1 or 2 records per year. We're on a pretty rigorous production schedule, and just because it's so collaborative and because there are so many amazing artists and musicians assisting in this project, we really are able to push out a particular volume of music of a relatively high quality, which is just so astounding. It really is a team and collaborative effort, and I don't have the time, obviously, to get through the roster of names that have assisted, but just looking at the folks that have featured on the records, you can see how big of a project this really is, and obviously it would not be the same without them. So we've got lots in store. Fix Neon has such a cool roster. We're so lucky to be a part of what they're doing. So in addition to producing more pop records, we're also obviously looking to explore the darker side as well, which I think will please a lot of the fans of the Streets music video.
Thank you so much to Moonrunner 83 for being with me on Static Realms Music Hour. Now let's enjoy the visually stunning Streets.
Those that chose to connect became superhuman. When the sun stopped rising, the superhumans created a neural network of neon powered through the Earth's core. A single metropolitan, City X, became the only habitable place on Earth. Superhumans prospered, but poverty and crime plagued the humans. Criminal factions controlled the city. To protect themselves, the superhumans built a wall around the city's core and made it their home. Soon after, they planned their departure. Maximizing freedom for humanity meant leaving humanity behind. We knew our fate. We made our choice.
Goddamn machines. Can you believe this shit? We created the fucking things.
That was a long time ago, Moon.
I think this is it.
This offer will soon expire.
Mr. 83, Siren,
We've been expecting you. Mr. 83, a legend such as yourself, how did you manage to stay hidden for so long?
I'm no legend.
The sentient neural equation solver. SNES. This is why we called you Mr. 83. Marv, display. Meet Vito Carmalettelo. We have the intelligence that suggests Vito has created a bug capable of infecting the entire neural network.
Even the AI?
Yes, even the AI. If control of the superhumans falls into the hands of this man, we're all doomed.
Why would I care? I hate the fucking AI.
Because, Mr. 83, if we don't stop him, the freedoms you fought for will all be lost. Vito called his goons for a meeting tonight at Club Fefe. Your mission is to infiltrate and retrieve the case by whatever means necessary.
Clouds to the sky in muddy light. Ashes rain, a silence blanketing the steel. We'll never be the same. Wander the streets with all the ghosts. Remember how it used to be. The earth, a broken hollow shell. It's torn like you and me. Shadows echo amongst the weeds. No footsteps, wide open vistas ripped by bombs. We're trying to forget. Wander the streets with all the ghosts. Remember how it used to be. The earth, a broken hollow shell. It's torn like you and me.
Brothers, sisters, I see the future as ours. Because of this, our ticket to freedom, a path to power, control. For years, they've turned us against one another, banishing us into poverty while they were hoarding our wealth. They fed us lies about safety and choice. Well, I'd say we've made our choice. Can you dig it? I present to you
Scars cut across a shattered world. Time can't heal an artificial neon light. We yearn for something real. Wander the streets with all the ghosts. Remember to be the earth, a broken hollow shell. It's torn like you and me. Wander the streets with all the ghosts. Remember how it used to be. The earth, a broken hollow shell. It's torn like you and me. When I woke up, he was gone. The city never skipped a beat,
Hey, anyone see those bright lights in the sky?
but I knew what was missing. And I knew that to survive, we needed the AI. So I fought to find him. My search led me back to where it all started. Was this the plan all along? When I broke through the wall, I thought I was ready for anything. But I wasn't prepared for this.